Hello, good.
I think I was muted. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this SDG Innovation Accelerator for Young Professionals informational call. Thank you very much for joining us today. This meeting is being recorded, and we will share this recording on our YouTube channel once it is available. We will just wait one more minute for everyone to join, and then we will get started. Before we get started, it's important to mention that this session is also available in Spanish, Russian, and French. All you have to do is click on the interpretation button at the bottom of the screen, and then you can select the language that you want to listen to the presentation in, and just tune in and listen in this language. Fantastic. I already see a big number of attendees to this webinar, so let's get started. Thank you again for joining this info call. If you are here, it means that you are interested in the SDG Innovation Accelerator program, and perhaps you are still debating whether or not you want to join for the upcoming cohort in 2026. So thank you for your interest in this accelerator, and we truly hope that you make a decision by the end of this call and you start preparing your presentation, your applications, your applications, and then you sign up to join us for a very impactful round next year. I wanted to get started with just a little bit of an overview of why this topic is important and why we are truly focused on SDG innovation, but truly for the young professionals. We all know that a younger generation is key, especially and specifically within a business context. All these functions that young professionals take is just very important to truly unlock all the potential and truly use the creativity and all the ideas that the younger generation has. And we know that innovation is truly important to achieving the SDGs. Without innovation, we cannot be on track to achieving the SDGs. It is the component that binds them all together and that will kind of speed up the innovation process and the change process within the 2030 agenda. And we also know that collaboration is very critical between sectors, but sometimes it's truly not easy because we don't have the tools, you don't have the resources, you don't have the means, you do not know how to collaborate between sectors, and you don't have the platform for this. And then last but not least, we do know that we have so many technologies and breakthrough technologies that are being created on a daily basis at this point, if not on an hourly basis. And the question remains, how could we truly use these technologies for sustainable and inclusive development? So we had all these questions in mind at the UN Global Compact, and that's why we have the SDG Innovation Accelerator for young professionals, because we truly believe that we want to merge all of these components, the collaboration aspect, empowering the young generation, truly focusing on innovation and the pivotal role that it plays, all these new technologies, but also all the new business models that exist in there, and innovate for social good. And this is why this program truly exists. And in a nutshell, this program, we do offer it to companies of the UN Global Compact only. So you need to be a member of the UN Global Compact. And we offer this program to empower the young talent. So we call them the young innovators. They are age 35 or below within these organizations to collaborate and accelerate business innovation and transformation. So it's a 9-month program that starts in February. So for this particular cohort, it starts February 2026. And it truly activates all these future business leaders and change makers to develop solutions. So we do ask the teams to come up by the end of this accelerator program with a sustainable product, a sustainable solution using new technologies, new business models, new initiatives. And this solution that they will develop is very particular to their own company. So it will truly answer their company's sustainability needs and objectives. And as I said, it is open to entry to mid-level managers. You just have to be 35 and below. Ideally, we do encourage that participants come from different business units. In most cases, we do have teams and innovators join that have never met each other. And this is a wonderful opportunity to have the young talent within any organization meet together and innovate for their own company and to truly make this transformation, this internal transformation. So as I said, we ask every single team of young professionals to collaborate. First of all, they will have to identify opportunities for their own company, identify a challenge that the company is facing, and then create a solution for this company, for this challenge that is very respective to the company. And at the same time, it has a value to the business, but also contributes to advance the sustainable development goals. We do have so many components as part of this accelerator program. We do have lots of webinars, lots of workshops, mentoring sessions, case studies, interactive sessions, a lot of sessions to interact with both the peers within the same cohort or even globally with all the innovators that are doing this program on a global level. And I would say one of the best components of this program is this global network of young professionals that always do this program, finalize it, and then become change makers and truly take all the learnings of the program back into their own organizations and even beyond. And most importantly, I think one of the other components of the program is all the activities are centered around what we call the learning by doing approach. So during the workshops, you will not necessarily see a lot of lectures, a lot of presentations, but more so you will see a lot of hands-on exercises, papers, pens, post-its. You will be able to create, you will be able to, you will be asked to forget what you do for a minute and just truly think outside of the box to try to find new ideas, new challenges, and eventually develop a nice solution. So the benefits of the program are so many, but we tried as much as possible to mention some of them on the screen that you see in front of you. So the participants' benefits, definitely, I always say that think about this as a fast-tracked MBA or an educational program. So you will be engaged as participants in so many learning opportunities from the workshops to the case studies to the discussions, the on-demand components that we have. So all these learnings are truly essential for your own career development as well. You will be able to collaborate with other businesses. So if you are joining, let's say, this program in France, you will be in a cohort with companies that are interested in this program as much as you are and that want to do good. So it's a great chance for you to meet with other young professionals working at different companies and different businesses and learn from them and eventually become friends. This is what we always see in this program. But share best practices on your industries and on the challenges that you are facing, but also learn from each other. We will also have throughout the program, we call them the global feedback sessions. And this is where we will have all the innovators doing this program from all countries participating join this Zoom meeting and sharing the presentation of the project they are working on and receiving peer feedback as well as giving feedback. So it's a great opportunity to build relationships, to get coaching and peer networking. Another good benefit is gaining insights from leading experts. We are always innovating. We are always looking to create those calls with and those webinars with leading experts around the world on topics related to SDG innovation, because we want you to learn from the best. So this is a wonderful opportunity to tune in and listen to these calls and learn from the experts. And as I said before, join this global network of very talented young professionals from top companies. Not only the participants benefit, but also the company, because it's truly a chance for the team to apply SDG innovation and address real sustainability challenges. Any challenge that has been sitting in the corner within the company, that the company is truly facing challenges and a difficulty in identifying a solution and how do we solve this. Maybe we are so occupied with the day-to-day activities that we don't have time, we don't have the resources to think about this challenge. This is a great opportunity to send a team to do this innovation workshop, to do this innovation accelerator, and come up for a solution for this particular challenge. We've also seen across the years that it's a great chance for the company to embed the SDGs within the company's business strategy, because as part of the program, all the innovators will go through what we call the SDG exploration phase. So it's like a one-on-one on SDGs on the 2030 agenda. And in case the company is still struggling to understand how do we include them, we always see a spike in this integration after this, because knowledge is power. And once we understand truly the impact, it becomes automatic and it trickles down to everything within the organization. Some other benefits, of course, include employee engagement. It's a great way to recognize employees and to give them a chance to engage for the company and with the company. And for the company itself, I think it's important to note that you will be in a room full of other companies, perhaps working within the same sector, within the same context, that are looking also to innovate just like you are. And of course, the global recognition. We do feature the solutions that are developed both locally through local showcases and globally, specifically in September during the United Nations General Assembly Week, where we truly focus on all these solutions and innovations that emerge. So it's a great recognition opportunity for the team itself, but also for the company at all. Who should participate? So you're probably on the call wondering if you are eligible. Again, as I mentioned before, you should be part of any Global Compact local network. So if you are part of this country network, you have an active participation, you have your ID ready as a company. You can check the website to see all the countries and all the networks that are implementing this program this year, and you could select yours and get started with your application. We ask that a team is composed of 4 innovators, 2 to 4 innovators. And the innovators, you're going to hear me say this word a lot today. The innovators are the main participants, and those are employees at this company, 35 years or younger. All you need to have is an interest in innovation and sustainability, new technology, change management. You don't necessarily need to have any experience. We just want the interest and the drive. Because this accelerator, I'm not gonna lie, will be a little time consuming. In the sense of like you still have your day-to-day job and you need to do this accelerator at the same time. So we truly want innovators who are willing to spend at least 4 hours a month to access all their learning path on the Academy platform. I will tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. Attend the workshops and truly be driven and willing to take part in this program. The team composition. Usually when we say a team that takes part in this accelerator, again, the team that is representing the company. So employees within the company, we cannot have consultants, we cannot have unfortunately, we cannot have entrepreneurs or individuals on their own. You need to be representing a company, and we need a team. So we need 2 to 4 innovators, ideally 4 innovators, because you will have opportunities to discuss the challenge together and the solution together, and you're just going to be more motivated to work on whatever solution you are developing. In addition to you as innovators, once you go back now to your company, you talk to your peers, you form your team, what you need to do is also identify a champion. So the champion is someone who works at the company itself. So it will be probably one of your managers, someone from the senior management, definitely over 35. And the role of the champion is to kind of mentor you throughout the process, but mostly to make sure that whatever you are working on, whether it's a challenge or the solution, that it's aligned to your company's vision as well. Because you might be developing a solution that you think makes sense, that you think would work perfectly, but then it doesn't align at all with what the company usually does, or maybe the implementation plan would not be possible at all within the organization's structure. So it's important to have a kind of a bird's eye view on everything that you're doing, someone you could always ask a question, someone to support you whenever you have like a question within the process about the company, and just to make sure that everything that you are doing truly makes sense in your context. This champion, usually we recommend at least to have 1 hour per month with this champion. It could be more, it could be less, depending on your relationship with your champion. So this is what we ask you to identify in order for you to join the program. In addition to this, the Global Compact office or country teams in some contexts might assign you an external mentor. So this mentor will be someone, an advisor with a background in innovation, sustainability, management, design thinking, but that is not affiliated with the company. I think their role is a little similar to the champion, but they are not working at the company. So they don't necessarily have the data and they're not biased. They will tell you things as they are, and they will mentor you from a business perspective. They will also be meeting with you 1 hour per month, maybe less, maybe more. It depends on when you are matched and if you are matched, because I know that some countries do not have the mentorship component and the global track does not have the mentorship component. If you do have this component, then you will sit with the mentor and then you will find the best mechanism to meet and to benefit from their expertise. So all the countries facilitating this program in 2025, 2026. So the companies that you will find right now on the website, if you go to the UN Global Compact website under the SDG Innovation Phase page, you will see these countries listed, all 23. In addition to this, we have an Africa track for all of you based in either Egypt or Indian Ocean region, and you could join this track as well. And then we have, last but not least, the global track, and I will explain what this means in a minute. The curriculum. So when we first started building the curriculum, we wanted some strong foundation to truly base the curriculum on. So we decided to use the IDEO methodology, if you are a little bit familiar with it, which starts with an inspiration phase. So the inspiration is all these business leader presentations, getting you exposed to innovation practices, whether through the webinars, the case studies. In some cases and in some countries, they do some field visits to companies who are innovating, and then they see how the company is truly embedding sustainability on the ground. So getting you inspired, getting you exposed to all these new concepts, because again, some of you have no idea what the SDGs are. Some of you have never worked in sustainability because you come from a very different department within your company. So we want you to be inspired. And then after the inspiration phase come the ideation phase. So we want to guide you with all these online trainings to synthesize everything you learned in the inspiration phase and everything you learned through different methodologies that you have, and experiment with innovation tools and methodology. And then last but not least is the implementation phase, where we will truly ask you to concretize the challenges and all the documents that you have been working on, all the exercises that you have been solving and designing sustainable business models. You can measure their impact, and you can validate the solution, whether internally or externally. As I mentioned briefly before, throughout the Accelerator, you will engage in team exercises, interactive experiences, peer feedback sessions, connect globally with all the entrepreneurs through a dedicated platform. Think about it as a very big WhatsApp group, but it's not on WhatsApp. It's on a different platform where you can go connect with your peers, connect with anyone who is doing the program and chat with them, learn from them, and mostly develop a culture of innovation that the company will take forward beyond the Accelerator. So if you go deeper into the curriculum, we do have 5 main modules. So remember the inspiration phase that I mentioned before. This is going to be the SDG exploration phase. This is where you will learn all the basics of sustainable development goals. the basics of the challenges that all the businesses are facing today, and some important topics related to like innovation and businesses in general, and how innovation in the context of businesses. And then using a design thinking approach to innovation, we will move through. So first, we have challenge identification. We will ask teams to come up with different challenges that their organization is facing. We have a lot of instances where we get teams, they join the program, and the first thing they say, I will be working on a solution that does this, this, and that. And this is where we stop them and we tell them, this program is a little different because using the design thinking approach to innovation, we will take a step back. You're not supposed to have a solution in mind. You're not supposed to have an idea of what you want to develop. What we ask you to do at this very first point is identify a challenge that is very particular to your own company, that your company is facing. And you will be surprised by the many challenges that all the innovators list. And then once we move to the challenge definition phase, we ask you to pick only one challenge out of all the list of challenges that you have identified. Worth noting that maybe now I'm simplifying these modules, and you might be asking yourself, well, but I don't really know what the challenges are or how to move forward with one challenge. Rest assured that we do this through very specific exercises and very specific questions throughout the workshops. You will be guided to come up with these challenges and selecting the one that you want to work on, to then move to the solutions development, where you will take the challenge that you have identified, and then you will develop a solution for it. Obviously, you will develop multiple solutions, solution A, B, C, D, and then you will move to the very last stage where you will say, you know what, I will test out all these different solutions, and then the one that makes sense, the one that is valid, the one that will make the most impact is the one that I will move forward with. And then this is how you will have your MVP at the end of the program with a truly developed project proposal for a solution for your own business. The way we do this is starting in February. So right now, if you join the Accelerator, if you sign up and you fill out the application form, you will receive an email if you have been selected by the country network or the Global Compact office, letting you know that your application has been approved. And the very first meetup that we will have is through the Global Kickoff session in February. And then we get started with the journey. We have all these different modules across the year, and then we have some time off at the end during the summer for you to go back to refine the solution, the presentation that you're working on. And then in September, all the country networks, they host September, October, or around this time, they host local solution showcases. So they will have a meeting for all of the teams that are participating, for you to present your solution in front of an audience. And if you get selected to come to New York City, you will get the chance to present this solution that you are working on during the General Assembly Week in September in New York City, which is a wonderful opportunity that we've been offering for the past 3 years. So the type of sessions, just to go a little bit more in details for you to understand what it entails specifically. We do have our own LMS platform. So once you get selected, you will get a username, password. If you are already part of the Academy platform, you know the drill, you know the platform, but you will be assigned to a dedicated page for the Accelerator program itself. And then this is where you will go. You will see your learning paths with all the meetups, all your innovation camps, and all the global sessions that you need to attend. So on this academy, you will see on-demand sessions. So those are pre-recorded sessions that we ask you to go over at your own convenience. So you could do them during business hours, after, before, at your own pace. You learn and you go over these on-demand sessions. The second component is the global deep dive sessions. So these are live opportunities, meaning that it's a Zoom call with an expert that is delivering a session on a topic related to SDG innovation. And we encourage you to join in real time because there's always a Q&A at the end, and then you will be able to ask them questions and interact with the speaker. And then the third main component is the innovation camps. So these are either one-day workshops that are held either in person or online with all the activities and training sessions. Think of a big room with tables, innovators, papers, Post-its. In some countries, we also have a lot of like Lego sets, Play-Doh. It's an experimentation zone. It's for you to truly break free and think outside of the box and try to come up with a solution that would work for your team. On this learning path, you will also see for each module like a folder with a lot of resources that you can go over, reports that you can read if you want to learn more, if you want more information on the topic. And of course, there is an exercise assignment for every single one of these modules. They are not long. We just want to make sure that you understand all these concepts that are introduced to you and that you move correctly within the journey. The country networks and whoever is facilitating the innovation workshops will have access to your assignments, so they will always take a look and try to see how they can support you and try to make sure that all of you are on the same page and moving forward in the right way. So let's talk about the tracks. So if you are based in a country where the Global Compact Country Network is running this accelerator, this is called an in-country track. So you will be in touch with your country office. They will tell you all the details. Most of the time, they would be doing in-person workshops. So they will give you all the details. You will be meeting them in person and doing this learning journey in person or virtual, but your main point of contact will be the country network. Most of the time, it is delivered in your native language as well, and of course, within the same time zone. It is the same program across all tracks. This is worth mentioning. It's just the modality of the implementation. The regional track is where we have different country networks that come together and decide to have a regional track. In this case, it's in Africa. So if you are based in either Egypt or the Indian Ocean region, and sometimes if you are based in Africa and your country network is not doing it, sometimes we could also put you in this Africa track. It is mainly managed by these two country networks. So it will be definitely virtual. Sometimes it's hybrid if they have maybe one opportunity for in-person meetups that is optional where you travel. But it will also focus on like challenges, best practices within the continent. And then it will mostly be delivered, I guess, the Africa one this year in English. The global track is delivered by the Global Compact Office. So it is it's an opportunity for very few companies that are based in countries where we are not running this accelerator program. It's the same curriculum. It's obviously fully virtual in English at a time zone that works best for all of us, although not necessarily very much convenient, because we might have someone from Asia, someone from the Middle East join, and then someone from Africa, someone from North America. So we try to find a time that works for everyone, but it's a very global one, and it will feature probably one company per country. So we do have, let's say, 15 companies from 15 countries. So it's a very, very selective process. And we ask that if you want to join the global track, that you sign up as soon as possible. So we know how many companies we have, and we start the selection process the earliest possible. So last year, just to go over quickly the program, in fact, we had 451 companies that participated across the world, and we had over 1,400 enrolled innovators. So think of the huge reach and impact that this program had. The 2025 cohort, this year's cohort was the sixth one of the program. We've been running this since 2019. So we do have a lot of success stories, a lot of lessons learned, and we absolutely, I absolutely love this program. The reach of this program is truly big. The diversity that you see on the screen, we have 38 countries that were represented in 2025, so this year. And I'm already looking at all the registrations that we have so far, and it looks like we're even gonna surpass this number. So we're gonna have so many more countries represented. So think of all the learning opportunities that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, and just multiply them by all these countries that you see on the screen. Think of all these innovators that are joining from different countries, contexts, and then you'll all be meeting and working on the very same program at the very same time, and sharing learnings together and feedback together. Overall, based on the final year survey that we share with participants, 93% is the satisfaction rate, and most of them, they do integrate the SDGs within the company's business strategy through the program, which is not the main goal or KPI of the program, but surprisingly, this happens, as I mentioned before, it just trickles down within the organization once you understand the impact and the importance. And then 91% of the people who filled out the survey indicated that they have pitched or plan to pitch the final solution to upper management. So one of the components that I should mention is that at the end of the program, yes, you do have your presentation and your MVP, but what's most important is what's after it. We ask you to go to your CEO, ideally, upper management, and then pitch your idea, and make sure that it is heard. And in most situations, the company truly welcomes whatever idea you're working on and supports it, and then the idea moves from this ideation phase to truly be implemented within the company. You might get budget for it, you might get a dedicated team to take this forward. So 93% recommend this SDG Innovation Accelerator for other professionals, to their peers, and their friends. You're probably also wondering, but can you just give me concrete challenges, concrete solutions, concrete projects that I can take a look at? And the answer is yes. I do encourage you after this call to go to the Global Compact website under Accelerator, click on SDG Innovation Accelerator, and then you will find two separate reports that feature all the innovations or some of the innovations. Obviously, we cannot mention everything. Some of the innovations that were developed either last year or the year before. You can read more about the profile of the companies, take a look at the type of companies that joined, and then see what they were up to with the challenges and then the solutions that they have developed. An example was last year with Douglas in Germany. They were trying to come up with a solution. First of all, their challenge was how can they enable all their customers to shop environmentally conscious while enjoying the best beauty shopping experience and reduce negative environmental impact. So think of Douglas as Sephora, as a big Ulta, as a big retail store that is focused on beauty products. So then through the program, they developed a beauty card program to reward customers for sustainable behavior that they are actually deploying. In addition to earning points on every single purchase that they do, they receive green beauty points for all the eco-friendly products that they choose, all the in-store returns, pickups, every time they make an eco-conscious decision. And then all these points can be redeemed for future purchases. But again, projects like these, you do not come up with them overnight while thinking within the organization. You truly need to sit down and challenge assumptions, come up with all these challenges, and come up then with a solution. Another project was in Ghana by Blay and Associates, where they said that if you ever need a legal document in Ghana, it is not readily available, it is not accessible. You do not know where to go to get whatever legal documents that you need, whether you're a university student or a lawyer practicing law. So what they did is an online portal to centralize Ghana's legal documents and making it accessible to everyone and even the public sometimes. And then they went even a step further, and then they partners with like state agencies, court registries, and legal authors, and they continue to upload and update the documents to ensure reliable access to everyone. These are the innovators at the 2025 Leaders Summit. So just this year in September, everyone join us in September to pitch the solutions they are working on in New York City. The same thing happened the year before in 2024 and 2023. And it's always a very, very big successful event that is happening in New York, and a great platform to truly showcase SDG innovation and to showcase the amazing work of all these young professionals. I was gonna go over frequently asked questions, but I think what I will do instead is go through the Q&A, and then perhaps if there's a question that hasn't been answered, we can go over it again. So please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A box, and I will take a look and answer them right now. So the first question from an anonymous attendee says that they represent one of the universities, which is a member of the UNGC. Can they participate in the program, or it's designed for businesses only? Very good question. Unfortunately, this program is designed for businesses only. Non-businesses such as universities cannot take part in this program. We got another question from Verna Ostork. I think I registered for the Young Professionals email, but I did not receive the innovator application email. Whatever issues you have with your application, please either do reach out to your country network and then they will get in touch with us. Or if you could please email sdginnovation@unglobalcompact.org, and then we will take a look at your question and support you. We have a dedicated team here that will look at all the emails, open tickets, and make sure that all the questions are answered and supported. Another question from an anonymous attendee: do at least 2 people from the same company need to apply to participate in this program? Correct. We need at least 2 people. Maximum is 4 people per company, and you have to form a team and then select your champion and join. Is there a similar program for individuals? Very good question, but unfortunately, there isn't a program for individuals at the moment, because all accelerator programs of the UN Global Compact are designed for businesses, but we are always looking for other ways to engage with brilliant individuals like yourself. If a company has participated once, can they join the 2025-26 cohort again, especially if it's a company that has won the Accelerator program before? Yes, so we do encourage you to sign up. Of course, the team has to be a different team, but the company can join again. But the only condition is that they would have to work on a different solution and different challenges. So they cannot take the exact solution that was developed and work on it again. As I said before, this design thinking method and ideation phase that we go through, it forces us to come up with new challenges and new solutions instead of working on an existing solution or project that we have internally. Another question: is it necessary to have at least 2 innovators and 1 champion to apply from the same company? Can we choose our own mentors? Is it only through assignments? Yes, minimum of 2 innovators and 1 champion to apply from the same company. You cannot choose your own mentors in most of the cases, but you will be told who your mentor is via the country network before you are matched. So if you have any issues with that, you could always go back to your country network and they would be able to match you with someone else, or look at the issue that you have. And it's worth noting that also all the mentors will sign a non-disclosure agreement. So if it's a confidentiality issue, rest assured that whatever happens through the program will stay within it. And we do value your privacy and the data of all companies. We have another question. Not sure if this will be covered. Are the dates for the in-person workshop determined yet, or is it still TBD? Well, it truly depends on your country. So I do encourage you to reach out as soon as possible to your country network. Some of them have already confirmed the dates and they are able to share them with you. The registration system asks, this is a question from Amy, the registration system asks for the name of the mentor, but I'm confused because you said it's being assigned. The registration system asks for the name of the champion and not the mentor. So the champion is a senior representative working at the same company as you that will act as a mentor, that will give you mentorship advice, but they are part of your team. And then we have like a detailed description of the champion on the website. I do encourage you to take a look there. And if you have additional questions on that, if you're still confused if your decision is right or wrong, always reach out to SDG Innovation at unglobalcompact.org. and we will be able to support you. Another question, just to confirm, countries like Lesotho and DRC would need to apply to the global track, correct? While countries like Tanzania and Mozambique can apply to the Africa track since the Indian Ocean run along their coast. Is there a contact person for both tracks so we can ensure we are enrolling our subsidiaries in the correct track? Very good question. I do encourage you to join either Africa track or the global track whenever you're signing up. And just know that internally, we always look at all the submissions and then we assign them to the correct track accordingly. So rest assured, if you join the Africa track, but you are not eligible or it's not possible, they will automatically redirect you to the global one and vice versa. But because you're talking about different subsidiaries, please do reach out to us by email. Let us have an overview of all the companies that you're talking about, all the subsidiaries, and we would be able to support you accordingly. Another question from Rachel, if you work on the sustainability team at your company in this program, is this program not for you? Seems more like an introduction to sustainability. It is, we do have a lot of sustainability professionals join the program, but we do ask that at least, I would say, not everyone on the team is from the same sustainability department because we want to introduce different individuals to sustainability and the SDGs and SDG innovation as a concept. And we want to have different perspectives. So let's say the sustainability team professional thinks that this is a wonderful challenge. Maybe someone from the finance department would think that you need to pivot or go a different route because this is what the organization is working on at the moment. Or someone from the communications team. So we want diverse voices, but of course we do encourage sustainability teams to join as well. Aishana is asking, when will applicants know if they have been selected? A very good question. So applications in general, they end January 31st. Now, some countries, they have, especially in Europe, they have their own timelines, meaning that I do encourage you to check out the country network where you want to apply, check out their own timeline, their own deadline for application. And as soon as the deadline is passed, you will be able to know if you have been selected, yes or no. For the global track, at least, is going to be beginning of next year. The innovation camps, are they within the local network or global network? So Emma, it is different for every single track. If you are referring for the in-country track, then it's within the local network. If you're referring to the global track, then it's global. I received a question in Spanish that I will try to translate and then answer in just a minute. Meanwhile, I will answer a question from an anonymous attendee. I work for a company in Nigeria that had other branches in Africa. One of our branch in South Africa has applied a couple of years ago and have had their solution presented in New York City. The branch in Nigeria is listed separately under the UN. Can I and the other team still participate? Yes, you can definitely still participate. And I encourage you to reach out to the Nigerian network, and then they will guide you throughout the process. Another question from Erimia, which Ugandan SDGs or key challenges areas such as digital or agriculture or financial inclusion are current priority focus areas for this accelerator track? All of the SDGs. We do not have any focus area or any key challenge area that we focus on. We ask you to focus on all of them and what it works or matters for your own company. All right. I will answer another question from Catalina. If my local network, Spain, is not participating on the accelerator, but the company would love to join, can we join the global track? Yes, absolutely. I totally encourage you to join the global track. Just know that the content is delivered in English and not in Spanish. Additionally, if we join the global track, can we have more than one group of innovators join per company? You can sign them up, yes, but approval is very, very limited, and I doubt that you are able to have multiple group of innovators confirmed, but I encourage everyone to at least sign up, and then we will see if we are able to accommodate. And then the last question, how easy it is for different business units to participate in this accelerator? I would say it's quite easy. The only reason why we ask again for diverse business units is because we want diverse perspective. But the level of understanding and the information shared, it works for all units within the company. Will Canadians be included in the US track or the global track? Kenny, it will be the global track. And then an anonymous attendee, is it the top 3 solutions that gets to be pitched in New York City or the winner alone? Very good question. So if you are part of a country track or whatever track you are part of, we will be looking at different criteria to select one company to come to New York. We will be doing this in collaboration with the country network staff, and we have a set list of criteria, including making sure that you are on top of your learning path, that you showing up to all the innovation workshops, that you have developed a challenge, that you are on the right track to develop a solution, that you have been submitting all your assignments on track, and that you are genuinely interested and excited for this opportunity. And as I said, so let's say you see 23 country tracks this year. So that's for sure 23 teams from these different countries that will be in New York, in addition to one company from the Africa track and another company from the global track. From Filippo, I didn't see Italy on the list, but we do have a global compact. It means that you want to participate as a company, we should apply for the global track. Yes, great question, and this is correct. Italy is not listed on the website because Italy is not running the program, but you can definitely sign up to join the global track. The question about the deadline for signing up from the anonymous attendee, the deadline for the global track, January 31st. This is also the deadline for most networks, but I encourage you to check with your country network and see if they have a different timeline, especially with the holidays if they want to wrap up before. A question from Asanda. Do the businesses need to be registered, or can we join if we are a team that is not yet registered? The business needs to be registered and part of the UN Global Compact. You need to have your UNGC ID at the time of the registration. An anonymous attendee asked, what happens if you leave the organization before the program is over? Is it possible to continue without being tied to a UNGC organization? Very good question, and unfortunately, you will not have access to the program, and it is directly tied to your organization, and you are representing the company that you are working for. And for the teams, are you matched with your workmate, or is it random? You are responsible for forming the team that you want to join with this accelerator. So I encourage you to go back today and try to see who else from your company wants to join, form a team, and then submit an application. Can I participate as SIA if I have a sustainable idea but haven't started the business because of fund? If you are representing a company, you can definitely join. Again, keep in mind the design thinking process to innovation that we use. You will be asked to come up with challenges related to your business and then develop a solution and have an MVP at the end. An anonymous attendee is asking, what is the cost for US companies? A very good question. I do encourage you to connect with your country network in the US, and colleagues will give you more information on that. For those of you wondering about the global track, this one is offered free of charge to participating companies. Another anonymous attendee asking if it's necessary to have at least 2 innovators and 1 champion. Yes, from the same company, that is correct. An anonymous attendee said, I am already 50 years old and the only sustainability manager in my company. We are UNGC members. Am I able to participate as participant? Unfortunately, no, because this opportunity is for young professionals only. But I do encourage you to get in touch with the country network and see if you could sign up as a mentor, for example, and you could be matched with someone and share your expertise. Thank you so much for your interest in this program. Another question from an anonymous attendee. I am mindful of the time, and I think we will take 2 more questions. Can there be 1 innovator and 1 champion? No, it has to be at least 2 innovators and 1 champion, and then we will assign the mentor from the outside organization. We will find the mentor, and it is not your responsibility to find them. Another question, what happens if someone on the team is not available to attend? We ask you to do your best to attend them. We know that things happen, but you need to make sure that all of you attend all these workshops. It's essential to work as a team in this accelerator. We don't want individuals to be stuck and working on exercises by themselves just because their teammates are not as involved as they are. I am looking at all these different questions, but at the same time, I know that we are out of time. So unfortunately, I will not be able to go over all of them. But thank you again for joining this webinar. It will be posted on our YouTube channel within the next couple of days, and you could always take a look and check this recording. And please, if you could share all the questions that you just had in this Q&A box, if you could share them by email, sdginnovation@unglobalcompact.org. I believe I have it here. You could contact us, ask your question, or get in touch with the country network. They would be able to answer all the questions. And I look forward to receiving all the applications that you will be submitting in the next couple of weeks, and then seeing so many of your names in the kickoff call next year, and looking forward to seeing all the wonderful innovations that will come out of this program next year. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for all our interpreters, Dennis, Daniel, and Sylvie, for supporting this webinar. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.